Hi everybody, it's Crystal. Welcome to my channel. So today I have a stitch tutorial for you. This is called the Inset Diamond Stitch. And it's actually a lot easier than it looks. It's mainly just single crochet. So you'll have to know how to single crochet. And then there is a drop double, which is just a double crochet, but it's just made in a couple rows down. And then there is a front post double. Other than that, that's all the stitches that you need to know. Like I said, mainly it's just a bunch of single crochets, but it's very, very pretty. Here's what the back looks like. Now this could be used for many, many things. I'm actually going to make something with it soon in the round, so you'll learn how to make it in the round as well with that tutorial. But just think of all the color combos that you could use. Like if you had a main color, like see how I used the white kind of as my main color. And what if you did like the inset part would be different color? That would be super cool. Baby blankets, adult blankets, scarves, tops, anything. It's a solid stitch, so I mean you can't see through it, and it's not really too thick, so I wouldn't hesitate to make a top out of it. I would just use probably a little bit bigger of a hook to give it a little bit more drape, but regardless, it's not like a super thick stitch. So do you guys want to go ahead and get started on it? So you guys can do it, trust me. All these stitches, no matter how intimidating they look, are all made with just basic stitches. All right, and I know you can do it. Let's do it. I'm going to show you how. Now, for that stitch sample there, I used Red Heart Super Saver Metallic in the white, and then I used it in light gray. But I'm not going to use the white for this tutorial because you won't be able to see it. So I'm just going to use some scrap yarn for this. Let's use the red. I'll use some red in place of the white. How's that sound? This is just some scrap yarn that I have setting here. Okay, so the Inset Diamond Stitch. Oh, and I'm going to be using, it's a 4-weight yarn. I'm going to be using a size I, which is a 5.5mm crochet hook. But depending on what you're making with this stitch and what yarn you're using, you can use whatever yarn and hook that you desire. So the Inset Diamond Stitch is done in any even number of stitches. Now, it's not worked on a base chain. Now, we are going to do rows of single crochet, but that's not the base chain. It just is how the stitches worked. So any even number of stitches will work. So you just chain to your desired length. If you're making a blanket, you make the chain as long as you want for the blanket. If you make it a scarf, you make your chain as long for your scarf, placemats, whatever you want to make with it, you know. Just make sure it's an even number of stitches. All right, for my sample here, I'm just starting with a chain of 30. Now remember, this is we're going to start off with a single crochet in the second stitch from our hook. We don't count the one that's on our hook, so that would be 1 and that would be 2. Now this is not a base chain. This is part of the stitch, all right? So we're going to single crochet there, and then we're going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch of the chain. So this red right here is representing the white that's in my my sample here. It's not the inset part, but it's it's not the gray that looks inset. It's just the white that's on top. This is what the red is representing. I'm sorry. So yes, 1 single in every stitch, and so you make it to the end of your chain. And this is row 1 that we're doing. Remember, you got this. It's just a bunch of single crochets. All right, I'll see you in a second. All right, so I've made it to the end of row 1, and you should have 1 less stitch than what your chain count was. So I mentioned that I started with a chain of 30. Now I will have a chain of 29. So we'll go ahead and start row 2. We're going to chain 1 and turn. And row 2 is we're going to put 1 single crochet into this very first stitch. And we're going to work 1 single crochet in every single stitch until we get to the end of the row. So row 2 is just another single crochet row. All right, so I will see you at the end of row 2. All right, so I've made it to the end of row 2, and you should be keeping your same number, your same that you had at the end of row 1. You'll keep that same number the entire way. So row 2 finished. Row 3, we're going to chain 1 and turn, and we're going to repeat what we just did on row 2. So we're going to do 1 single crochet again in that first stitch into every single stitch all the way across. So row 3 is another row of single crochet. All right, so I will meet back up with you at the end of row 3. All right, I'm coming to the end of row 3, and this I'm going to do a color change now. In row, start row 4, I'm going to carry the color, the yarn up the side. You don't have to do that. It was done here. You can, and then put a border on. You could put a border on it later, and it would hide all those. You can clip off if you want at the end of each row, or you can carry the yarn up the side. I'm going to be carrying the yarn. So I'm coming to the end of row 3, and I'm going to change colors here. So I'm just going to go back to silver since it's out here, and that's what I used earlier. So I'm going to go into the last stitch, and I'm going to draw up a loop like I'm going to do a single crochet. I'm going to drop that red color yarn, and I'm going to bring in my new color. And I'm going to make sure I hold that red yarn down. And I'm going to pull my new color through those 2 loops like that. Now I'm going to flip my work over, and I'm going to take the tail of my new color and then my main color here. I'm not going to clip that main color off because I'm going to carry it up the side. And I'm just going to tie a little knot right here so it doesn't slip away. Not the tail of it, but the main part of it. Tail, get out of here. Now we have switched colors. There we go. And now we can just carry our yarns up the side. Okay. Now we're going to start row 4. And row 4 starts the repeat of the pattern. All right. So we're going to start off with a chain 1, and we're going to turn our work. We're going to go back into this very first stitch, and we're going to put a single crochet into that stitch. And then we're going to start the repeat of row 4, I'm sorry. And we're going to do a drop double crochet. So it's very easy. So what I do is just kind of count down 3 spots, starting with this stitch here. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to yarn over, and I'm going to go into this spot right here. Put my hook in it. And then I'm going to grab my yarn from the behind, and then I'm going to draw up tall to where I'm even with my stitches up here. And then I'm just going to do a double crochet like normal. And then I'm going to single crochet into the next stitch. Make sure you don't go into the one that we did the drop double in, because there's no stitch worked in it because we dropped down, but the drop double should cover it up pretty good. So we're just going to put a single crochet into the next stitch, just like that. And that's the repeat. So we're going to do the drop double again. So when you're counting down for the drop double, it's kind of like a little bit of a small backward C. That's the way I look at it. So it's like 3 times down. So let me get it in a position that I can show you. There's that spot. Here's your next stitch. And then it kind of just goes over just a bit, that stitch, and then back over to that stitch. So it's if you count the stitch, 1, 2, 3 down right there. And it's even with this very first stitch. So let's go ahead and do that. That's where we put our drop doubles every time. So you look at it, yarn over, and I just go bump, bump, bump. And I can see that that is even with that the next stitch. Go into it, grab my yarn from the behind, pull it up tall, even with my stitches, and then do my double crochet like normal. And then I'm going to single crochet into the next. Repeat it again, drop double. So I'm going to yarn over, and here's my next stitch. 1, 2, 3. I can see this one is even with the stitch. Go into it, draw up a loop, tall up even with the rest of your stitches, and double crochet like normal, and that's your drop double. Again, we're going to single crochet in the next and drop double into the next. So yarn over, and boom, boom, boom. The stitch right here, it's even with that one. That's my stitch. Single crochet into the next and drop double into the next. So yarn over, and there's your stitch. There's the one that's kind of cocked off to the side, and there's the one you go back over a little bit, that's even with your stitch. And we're going to repeat this pattern until we get to the end of the row. You should be able to end in a complete repeat of a single crochet being your last stitch. So drop double, and then single crochet, drop double, and single crochet all the way until you make it to the end of row 4. Alright, I've made it to the end of a row 4, and my last stitch was a single crochet. So now we're going to go ahead and do row 5. We are going to chain 1 and turn our work. And row 5 is just a single crochet row. So we are just going to work single crochet right there in that first stitch, and single crochet into every single stitch all the way across. Remember that you're maintaining your same stitch count that you had after you finished row 1 the entire time of the project. All right, so row 5, 1 single in every stitch, and I'll see you at the end of row 5, and we will change colors at the end of this row. We're going to go back to color A. First color we excuse me, the first color we used. All right, I'm coming to the end of row 5, and I'm getting ready to put my last single crochet in. So I'm going to switch colors here back to my main color. So I'm going to go into that last single crochet and draw up a loop, and I'm going to drop that silver, and I'm going to pick up the red that we are carrying up, and I'm going to pull it through those 2 loops just like that. Now we can begin row 6. So we're going to chain 1 and turn our work. All right, so we're going to put a single crochet into the very first stitch, and now we will start the repeat of row 6. So what we're going to do now is a front post double crochet, but we're going to work it around this drop double crochet. So we're going to yarn over, and we're just going to put our hook right under that drop double, yarn over and pull our yarn back through, pull it up, and do a double crochet. So that was a front post double crochet. We just worked it around that drop double. And then we're going to single crochet into the next stitch. Make sure you don't go into the one that is worked directly behind this post stitch, okay? Single crochet into the next. And that's what we're going to repeat. So again, we're going to yarn over and do a drop double, front post drop double, front post drop double, but we're doing it around that drop double there. So we're going around underneath it like that, and grab your yarn, pull it back through, and do your double crochet like normal. Single crochet into the next stitch. Remember, not the one that the post stitch is, but the next one. And then we're going to repeat it again. We're going to drop on down and do the post stitch right under that drop double. Come on, don't give up. You got it. You got it. And then we're going to single crochet in the next. I always just flip my work back real quick and make sure I'm not going into that one. Better safe than sorry. And again, drop down here, go underneath that post, or underneath that drop double, and double crochet, just like that, and single into the next. And this is what we're going to repeat until we get to the end of the row. And you should be able to finish out a complete repeat and end in a single crochet. See how easy this is? You got this. All right, I'll see you at the end of row 6. All right, I've made it to the end of row 6 and I ended in a single crochet. Now what we're going to do is rows 7, 8, and 9. They are all the same. They're single crochet rows. So we're going to chain 1 for row 7, turn our work, and we're going to put 1 single crochet in every stitch across until we get to the end of the row. And when we make it to the end of the row and we have the same amount of stitches, we're going to chain for row 8, we're going to chain 1 and turn and do another row of 1 single crochet in every stitch. And then when we make it to the end of row 8, we will again chain 1 and turn and do row 9, which will be one more row of 1 single crochet in every stitch. And that will be the end of the repeat. So I'm on row 7 now, single crochet row. And then when I make it to the end, I'm going to do row 8, single crochet row. And then I'll do row 9, single crochet row. And then I'll meet back up with you. All right? All right, I'll see you at the end of row 9. All right, when you make it to the end of row 9, you should be able to, this is where that you want to switch colors. So you should be on the side where your yarn is to switch colors. So on your last stitch, just go right into it and draw up a loop, drop that color and pick up your other color, pull it through those 2 loops, and then you can begin row 10, which is the repeat of row 4. So we chain 1 and turn. So that's the repeat rows. It's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. I know it's a long repeat, but remember, almost all of them are single crochet rows except for 2. So for row 10, we're just repeating row 4 down here. It's where we single crochet into the first stitch. And then we do our drop double. So remember, we yarn over and we just do boom, boom, boom. And it's going to actually line up with your double, your post double and your drop double from the previous rows. So that'll help you. If you have trouble, single crochet into the next and drop double, boom, boom, boom. Right here it is. You can see it's just kind of 1 stitch above that post stitch there. And then single crochet into the next. Remember, I'm just repeating row 4. Drop double. Now it's real easy now, because like I said, now you can really see where these drop doubles need to go. I mean, they're just right above those post stitches. Single in the next. Well, that's it. You just keep repeating rows 4 through 9 until you get to your desired size. Now you can end on whatever row that you want to end on. This one was ended on a row 5 repeat. After I finished row 4, I just did the front post double row there, and then was tied off. But you can end on whatever row you want. It does not matter. There's no specific row. Just whatever you feel looks best. That's the row you end on. So I hope that you enjoy my tutorial, and I hope that you were able to follow along okay. Remember, you got this. If you feel like you're having trouble, just don't quit. Just keep practicing and you'll get it. You'll get it. And once you get it, think of all the beautiful things that you can make. And I sure do hope that you show me a picture of what you make on my Facebook page. I'd love to see it. And if you did enjoy this tutorial, it'd be awesome if you could give me a like and maybe leave me a little comment below. Tell me hi or something, you know. Just helps the algorithm so to show my videos to other people that may not know I exist, so they can learn to crochet too. And that's it. So after a few repeats, starts to look like this. Super cool. So I'll see you guys on my next video, alright? Take care. Bye, guys.